another one.
Hedging my bets. Is QA a field I might be good at? Bit of background. BA, or I guess Bachelor's of Arts, News Editorial Journalism, Masters of Art in Art Emphasis Photography, currently employed in my dream job as the primary photographer for my university. Oh, talk about dreaming low. About 85% of my work is shooting athletics or theater/dance. Pay is decent and job security is excellent as far as performance is concerned. But that's a big but right here. I live in Louisiana and I have a distinct fear that our new governor will work to destroy higher education because education is a threat to him. And as there are 8 public education schools in the state and our budgets are actually the only thing that the legislator can mess with to fix state budget issues, there is a concern. So I'm trying to have a backup plan as my job is not widely available and there are only a handful of positions like it. Several schools in our conference don't even have a full-time sole photographer on staff. That said, I have always had a knack for poking holes in processes and thinking through issues to try to cover all bases. I have no idea if QA is the right search path for me to start with. The example I could think of best is in Baldur's Gate 3. Someone had to figure out every possible permutation of how the player would behave in situations and create dialogues or whatnot for those situations, or a new corporate policy that would create questions and having those questions already answered. If this doesn't make sense, I apologize. I don't know the proper QA language. If I missed the thread about it, feel free. Okay, I have next to no software experience. Some backend stuff on e-commerce from a job a decade ago. Some minor HTML or CSS from a useless web dev class 20 years ago. Double. I know enough to know I don't know near enough, and while I am a fast learner, I am way behind the curve. Any suggestions? Like I said, I'm not worried about my job immediately, but I have a hard time imagining it's not at risk of being laid off in a few years. That was a long one, but some people, they just got to get it all out. So let's start a timer, right? So hedging their bets, right? Is QA a field they might be good at? I guess anybody could be good at any field, but here's the thing that absolutely aggravates me, right? Why is it that like QA seems to be the dumpster of bad decisions, right? So many people will go to school for these degrees that they don't do any. I'm really curious to know, what is the salary of this person who is a photographer for the athletics at this university, right? You know what? I'm just going to Google it. College athletic photographer salary. Sports photographer. Oh, okay. That's in Louisiana. I am curious. I am absolutely curious. So, as of November 19th, 2023, the average hourly pay for a sports photographer in Louisiana is $16.22 an hour. So they really enjoy it. I can't fault them for enjoying their dream job at $16.22 an hour average in Louisiana. Maybe it's a low cost of living state. I don't know. But they are in fear that the governor is going to lay them off, right? You know, personally, me, because this person seems like they have, they did HTML e-commerce 20 years ago. So they might be a little bit up there. But they are afraid of the governor. And like I said, it bothers me when people, they make these type of decisions. And now they are in fear because it is a job that is not popular and that they know that it's not going to come around again. They pretty much got lucky. If it was me, and I needed a photographer for the college team and something, right? I would find some student, pay for them to get a Udemy class, have it as an internship, as a hobby or something like that. That's just me. I could be totally off right here, but I don't know. But like I said, my pet peeve is that QA becomes the dumpster of bad decisions where it's like, all right, I did everything wrong, but maybe QA is for me. Maybe QA is for me because you are able to find problems. Well, I think a lot of people are able to find problems. I not know what the Baldur's Gate 3 is. Let's find, why don't we find that out? Maybe I'm missing something. What is Baldur's Gate 3? Oh, it's a video game. Their best example is a video game that about the permutations, about how a player would behave in a situation and create dialogues or not, or whatnot for those situations. Yeah. So would you be good in QA? I mean, I guess you can get ISTQB certified and you could, and then you could go to a boot camp and then you could, take a Udemy course and then start to apply for every QA position on LinkedIn. But you're going to have a lot of competition, but maybe the e-commerce job from a decade ago and the minor HTML or CSS that you did for useless. And there's a problem, right? And you're calling the web dev class useless when that should have been the most important class that you took, right? But apparently the BA in journalism and the master's in art emphasis photography was what was being focused on. But now, because you're afraid, you want to come and join us in the QA. I don't know. Yeah. I don't like, you know what? It's like this, right? When I see this and I get these type of questions and it's like, well, I went to school to be a, English major, but I can't get a job. I wonder if I can go out there and, maybe being a doctor is right for me. I don't know. Maybe I can just, is there a boot camp where I can become a neurosurgeon? I don't know. Let's see what Don has to say about this. And then let's move on. Don says, as soon as I heard e-commerce, I knew he was as old. I knew he's as old AF like me, but I keep my skills fresh. Don, you are not old. You are just like, you're like wine. All right. You're like wine. All right. So let's wrap up this question and let's move on.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.